This is Alan Bush with the Daily Financial Forecast for Thursday, August 25th. Starting out with the stock index futures, we are seeing some pressure developing this after Esther George of the Fed basically indicating in a televised interview yesterday that with inflation increasing, that the Fed could be in a position to raise interest rates. So another hawkish comment from another Fed official putting pressure on the indices. This in advance of the Jackson Hole Symposium that starts today. Also, we will have Janet Yellen speaking on Friday at 10 o'clock Central Time. So some traders believing that her comments may be also a bit on the hawkish side. So a hawkish Fed is having some negative consequences for the indices over the near term. However, we did see a bit of a bounce with the durable goods orders coming in stronger than expected. We do feel that longer term that stock index futures will continue to advance, and that once the Jackson Hole Symposium is out of the way, even if Yellen does have a hawkish tone to her comments, that we will see gains next week in all of the indices. Longer term, still looking for new highs across the board in stock index futures. Now, moving over to the currencies, not a lot of news. We are seeing the euro currency higher, even though we did have some weaker than expected economic news out of the eurozone. Much of the trade is evening up in advance of the Jackson Hole Symposium. Also in the interest rate futures markets, all of this hawkish commentary putting pressure on the interest rate futures markets, especially the 30-year bonds. Also, we do believe that the 170 support area in the September Treasury bonds will probably be taken out within the next couple of weeks. And we do feel that inflation, although not much of a problem now, not talked about very much at this point, will ultimately be a big negative that will eventually, I think, do more and more damage to the interest rate futures market. So look for longer term these markets to head lower, led by the 30-year bonds, as once again inflation becomes more and more of a threat. Also, as far as gold and silver, these two markets have been under pressure primarily due to hawkish comments from Fed officials. And as in the stock index futures, coming under the same influence, once the Jackson Hole Symposium is out of the way, I think we can see the precious metals advancing. Also thinking we can see some new highs for the move before the end of the year in both gold and silver. So any pressure in gold and silver should be used as a buying opportunity. And we think once the symposium is out of the way, we will concentrate more on the inflation situation. And once again, that will be the fuel that drives the gold and silver markets substantially higher. So good trading, everyone. And once again, remember, these are my opinions alone and are not the opinions of ADMIS or Archer Daniels Midland.